Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am teacher Adil Hawari, presents grade 4, the English Wallet course, Unit 7, Lesson 1, reading page 76. This lesson is entitled People of the Wallet. So we are going to speak about the different habits and traditions of people around the wallet. Before reading the text, we are going to have some activities, including the meaning of the words or the vocab, then their definitions and some exercises about them. And after that, we are going to have some interactive activities, including the text itself. So let's go and find out.
Listen to the following words: village, explorer, powerful, watchful, spin.
These are the words: village, explorer, powerful, watchful, spin. I select these few words just to make you able to memorize them or to have them as dictation if you want. But now we are going to know the definitions and the meanings.
Listen to the definitions and find the words under the curtains. A person who lives in a village. A person who sets out to discover something new. Having great power or strength. Someone who notices everything.
Okay, a person who lives in a village is a villager. A person who lives in a village is a villager. A person who sets out to discover something new, okay, sets out means who wants to go or to leave a place or to move from one place to another place is an explorer. Having great power or strength, it means, no, it's not watchful. Yes, it's powerful. Someone who notices everything is watchful. So these are the definitions of the words. You can see the words now and their definitions. Villager, someone who lives in a village. Explorer, someone who moves from one place to another to discover new places. Powerful means someone who is has a great power and strength, and he can do a lot of things because of his exceeding power. Watchful, someone who can notice and uh, look after people because he is watchful and he has great ability to find and guard a lot of people. Okay, this is watchful. Like the policemen, of course, they are so watchful people. Here is we have some question. Where do most people live? Where do most people live? Yes, according to the text, most people live in towns and cities. Most people live in towns and cities. Which animal do the Sami people keep? According to the text also, the Sami people, okay, keep what? The reindeer. This is a very famous animal in North Europe, especially with the Sami people, and they depend on it by getting their food and their clothes and a lot of things which depend on such an animal. Now let's discuss these questions or these activities. A person who travels and looks at new places. Yeah, an explorer. A power that travels, I made it in a hurry because it's a scientific and I'm going to explain it. A power that travels along wires and makes lights and matches work. Of course, it's electricity. Electricity is the power which makes the lamps, gives us light, or the computer work, or the machine, computer works, or the machines work. So it is the power of which make everything easy. I cannot do even my job now except with electricity. If we don't have electricity, we won't do anything, of course. Okay, my friends? Match. Are beautiful birds with sharp beaks. Of course, we studied in the text, we studied the reindeer, falcons and caterpillars. No, of course they are falcons because they are birds, and the people of the Bedouin people, okay, in the hot areas, in Emirates, in United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and so on, they are so famous, and they have festivals of falcons everywhere. Of course, it's a famous bird here in Saudi Arabia. Policemen are people. I have a mistake here. I intend to have a mistake. Well, check. I'm going to choose the wrong answer. Yes, I made it. I intend to make it. Policemen are careless people. Am I right? Of course, I'm not right, because policemen are watchful people. Look, watchful people, not careless people. So policemen are not careless people, but they are watchful people. Now I fix the mistake. Okay, so policemen are watchful people, as they can see everything that's happening. Okay, of course he cannot be a policeman except he can watch and regard everyone and take care of everything. Again.
Listen, read
It is
and answer
classic.
the questions. The Incas lived in Peru in South America. 500 years ago they were rich and powerful. They had many large cities and they were good fighters. They had gold, silver and jewels. They kept many animals and they had good food and clothes. Then the explorers from Spain came and fought the Incas and ruled them.
Here, the Incas, we have the first part of the lesson. It's about the Incas, they who lived in Peru, in South America, 500 years ago. They were rich and powerful. They had many large cities, and they were good fighters. They can fight their enemies with great strength because they were brave. They were courageous. They have a lot of good characters or good features. They had gold, silver, and jewels. They kept many animals and they had good food and clothes. Wow, that's great. That's great. Then the explorers from Spain, I'm sorry for this, came and fought the Incas. They came and, of course, they had many battles against the Incas, and they could rule them and capture their king according to the pieces of information or according to the texts. So now we have question: where did the Incas live? Where did the Incas live? For the check now, they lived in Peru. Thick or cross? They were poor. The Incas were poor. Is it right according to the text? No, of course. The Incas were very rich. They had many large cities. Is it true or wrong? Of course, it's true. In the past, they had many large cities. They kept many animals, fish, worms. Which one is correct? they had, of course, they kept many animals, and they had, then we complete the text. Explorers from Egypt, England, Spain, fought them, I'm sorry, it's a mistake, fought them and ruled them. Yeah, of course, from, we can say, from Spain, fought them and ruled them. Okay, here is, as we see here, we discussed about the Incas and we got an idea about them. Now we have more and more activities about the Incas and about the Sami people, the Tibetan and the Numans. We are going to have it now here. We'll start with this activity, okay? People live in all parts of the world. Most people live in towns and cities, but other people live hundreds of kilometers away from the nearest city. They live on high mountains. They live in hot desert, in snowy forests. So people lived in cities, in towns, okay, and near the mountains, and also they lived near the forests. This is in the past. Nowadays, or also in the past, they keep animals. It's natural. People around the world keep animals. Animals are essential to the life of most of people around the world. It's part and parcel. It's important, I mean, to most of the people around the world. They make their clothes and home. They are different to people who live in large towns. It is so people who live in these places in mountains, as you see here, look, if you see the pictures, they have their own life. People, the nomads people who lives in desert, they have tents, they have animals. They are different completely. The Incas lived where, as I mentioned before, in Peru, in South America, 500 years ago. They were very rich and powerful. They had many large cities. The Incas, of course, they were very rich. They have a lot of money, maybe gold, silver, things like this. And they were strong enough to fight their enemies. They had many large cities and they were good fighters. But fighters mean people who can defend their country and can fight the enemies in a brave way or a courageous way. They had gold, silver, and jewels. They kept many animals and they had good food and clothes there. But suddenly, what happened? The explorers from Spain came, they fought the Incas and captured who? Their father or their king? Their king. After that, the Saudi or Spanish, of course, Spanish ruled over the Pharaoh or Incas, of course, over the Incas. Let's check. MashaAllah, correct. So we have these green words. We can memorize, or we could summarize, I mean, the whole text or most of the text in such a way, and you can see the green words, they are keywords, the key to the most, to the vocabulary or to the most important vocabulary of the lesson. Let's move to another activity. No, it's not this. We have other activities. Yes, let's discuss these questions. And I want to tell you something, that we have now two colors. this orange color and this blue. We match like magnetism, we match the different colors, not like the different poles. So we have now the questions and answer. It's not important to to arrange the questions according to the numbers. Okay, any question and any answer. 500 years ago, the Incas were very what? Very rich and powerful. They were very rich and powerful, as we studied before. Okay, let it go. Number 2, the Incans spoke the Quechua language. Q and U here. Q and U are stick with the glue. Okay, the Incans spoke this language called Quechua language, and when I have a question, okay, the Quechua language like the English language, like the Arabic language, like the Spanish or French, okay, language. Okay, number 3, the Quechua people, of course, language sometimes refers to a nation. The Quechua people, the people who speak this language, the wool and weave it. Wool means something we get from goats and sheep, especially from sheep. Okay, spin means turn, twist. Okay, like the spinner we have in our hand. You know the toy of spinner. It's very famous. So they spin the wool and make clothes. It's natural in such areas. Number 4, they make in the cloth. They make what? They make drawing, which we call here patterns. Of course, they make this pattern to distinguish them from the others, and it's a part of their culture. It's a part of their life and civilization. And you know, like here, I want to make simple that Potra and Iqal here in Saudi Arabia is part of our habits, part of our tradition, part of our nature. Number 5, some Sami people are what? Are nomads. Nomads means people who live in deserts. And of course, the Sami people live in Northern Europe. And by the way, we are going to have a complete lesson about the Sami people. Okay, my friends, still we have some questions and some answers. The Tibetan people, as we mentioned in the text, the Tibetan people are the people who live in China, near China, and they live near the highest mountains. I think it's the Mount of Everest. I think so. So the Tibetan people live there, and of course they have their own traditions. Okay, near the highest mountain. Okay, number 7, some nomadic people travel through what? Through the desert. It's easy, like in Saudi Arabia, in Emirates, in Egypt, and we have these Bedouin people who live in desert. And of course, it's a pride to us as Arab. We have this history. Falcons are beautiful birds with sharp beaks. Falcons are birds. Of course, they have sharp beaks. Of course, you have good knowledge about falcons because you may raise or you keep in your at home. And of course, it's a very important business here in the Arab world. Falcons are beautiful birds, of course, nice, beautiful, and they of course they have watchful eyes. They can see things, or they have sharp eyes. They can see perfectly or see well. Okay, congratulations, my friends. I'm really happy. Okay, we may have another activity. Let's see now. Yeah, we discussed this before. Yeah. I think that we have another activity we are going to tackle now. Let me give me the chance to load. It's loading. Yes. Now I collected the story into these short cards. We are going to discuss with the questions and answer, and we might find, well, it's not important to have it all in green, because if we have even one word missed, it will be in red, no problem. People live in all parts of the world. Most people live in towns and cities. So what the question here, where do most people live? In towns, in towns, in towns and cities. Yes. Where did the Inca live? The Inca lived in Peru. So they lived in Peru in South America 500 years ago. In Peru. Peru, of course, is a country in South America. What language did the Inca speak? The Inca spoke the Quechua language. Let's have it. Q. When you write Q, always write U. This is a rule in English. We call it Q, and you stick like glue. Anyhow, our answer is correct, but we may have it read, because if we have even one word missed, the system is not intelligent enough. Okay, what do they do in their cloth? Of course, patterns. They do patterns. You know, in their cloth, they make patterns in that cloth. The patterns are like the old Incas pattern. Patterns means drawing. Who or what do women carry? Women carry their babies. Women carry their babies, okay, fruit and vegetables in their cloth. They carry their babies. Sorry, it's not here. Yes, it's here. Babies. Yes, comma. Fruit and vegetables. Okay. How is the weather like in Northern Europe in winter? The Sami people live in Northern Europe. It's very cold. So the weather, okay, the climate is very cold. Yes. Which animal do the Sami people keep? The Sami people live in Northern Europe, and they keep big herds of reindeer. So the reindeer is the animal they keep, reindeer. This is this animal with big and tall horns. You can, I ask you, my friends, to look into the internet and have pictures of reindeers. It's homework. What do the main, what is the main animal in the Tibetan people life? Of course, the main animals is a yak or yaks. Yaks is like a buffalo or like a cow. And of course, the Sami, while the Sami people keep reindeer, the Tibetan like yaks. It's similar. Where do nomadic people live? These nomadic people live in hot places. So the nomadic people, like the people of Bedouin here, they live in hot places. In hot places. Why the Sami people live in very cold places. The nomadic people live, nomads live in very hot places, or in hot places like in Saudi Arabia, or in Egypt, or in Libya, and so on, in the Sahara Desert. So these people live, and they have also their traditions of tents, of falcons, and so on. How do the nomadic people hunt? They hunt with, of course, with falcons. Okay, we may have red ones, but anyhow, it's correct. Yeah, it's correct anyhow, no problem. But if we missed even one different answer, it comes like this. But our answer is correct. We may say they keep reindeer, maybe. Okay. We can add they keep reindeer, maybe they keep reindeer. They keep reindeer. Maybe. But anyhow, our answer is true. And yeah. Yes, double E, yes. We'll check now. Yes. Yes, here is a mistake of one letter. I forgot it. So here is Bismillah, mashallah. Great, you have answered all the question correctly. I'm so happy. Uncle Adil or Ammu Adil, as the students sometimes call me. So my friends, it's nice to have these activities, okay? And we have we summarize the text into cards. As you see, we could do the lesson in a funny way. So our friends, inshallah, we are going to meet tomorrow with some other activities and some other ways of teaching the lessons. And until we meet again, inshallah, I wish you all the best and enjoy your life. Thank you, my friends. Bye-bye.